Hello, and welcome to our Fireside Chat for OCD Gamechangers. Woo, it has been a while. I meant to look to see when the last Fireside was before I came on, but I didn't get a chance. It's good to be back. We are going to start the Fireside Chats back up and what they are. Well, first of all, who am I? My name is Chrissy Hodges. I'm the executive director of OCD Gamechangers. I do a lot of advocacy for OCD in general, typically pure OCD, shameless promotion. This is my book, my memoir, Pure OCD. It's the lived experience of what I dealt with OCD, and I also do peer support and referral consultations with individuals. So Fireside Chats were born out of COVID. It was a way for the community to, when no one really knew what was going on and there was a lot of uncertainty everywhere, I wanted to try to bring on people that were familiar in the community to help people feel a little more adjusted, feel a little bit more certain in times that were really uncertain. We kept doing the Fireside Chats for a little bit after that first year and took a bit of a break. Actually, OCD Gamechangers, once the COVID happened, we did an online event. I think it was around a year ago in May. The board and I decided that until we could do in-person events again, we would probably just kind of pack it up for a little bit. The Gamechangers is so community oriented. That's what I love about the organization is it's more about connecting with people, and not that we can't connect over Zoom. And I think it's great what we are able to do now virtually, but not being able to do those in-person events really, I don't know, it felt like it wasn't living up to the authenticity of what we wanted Gamechangers to be. Hey, Miss Rachel. Hey. Good to see you. And thank you all for being here. I'm a little hot. These lights are blaring down on me. So once Marshall gets here, I'm going to go open my door. So if you're like, wow, she's really nervous, it's just because I'm hot. Actually, let me just open my window. I just opened the window and then the other one closed. So that was stupid. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to start them back up and probably do them once a month. Now, Fireside Chats are bringing people on who are talking about projects that they're doing, things that they're doing in the community that are really game-changing or different than what other people are doing, or just getting a project up and running. Because one of the things that we do with Gamechangers is we do like to promote people and promote their projects, because it's really important when you're doing advocacy that you have a support community. If you don't, you can get burnt out really quickly, and you can also lose motivation and lose a lot of momentum on what you want to do on your project. So Gamechangers wants to be there for you and promote your projects, either by doing things like the Fireside Chats, or even if you want to send us your projects at our email, Brennan, who's awesome, who works with us, she can post it on our Facebook to get a little visibility from the nonprofit side. So, God, I'm sorry. I'm pouring sweat. I swear, I'm not nervous or anything. I don't know what's going on. It's because I don't have air conditioner. So right now we're waiting on Marshall. He is going to come on, and and the point of kind of getting started on the Fireside Chats now is to talk a little bit about upcoming events. Like I just said, we haven't been doing in-person events. Well, we are going to start. So I wanted to give you a heads up of what we're doing. So Marshall was going to be a few minutes late anyway. So I thought, okay, I'll take this time to talk to you about a couple of things we're going to do. And then when Marshall gets on, he's going to tell you all about the rap Cypher that is coming up in like a month. By the way, I am not going to be rapping. I mean, no. If we do like more than one or something, I might think about learning how to do it, but I can't. No, I don't think that would be a good thing for anybody, mental health or not. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about what we are going to be doing event-wise. This is really exciting. So a couple years ago, right before COVID, I'm so sorry. I'm like pouring sweat. This is why I don't live in the South, because you sweat everywhere. And now I'm in Colorado at 7,500 feet and I'm still sweating. Before COVID, we did an international event at the UK, and it was so successful. Okay. He's going to be here in like 2 minutes. So that's perfect timing. It was so successful and we've been anxious to go back. But because of COVID, we knew that there were just too many restrictions. We didn't know what it was like over there. So we're going back and it's really exciting because what we're doing is kind of doing a little Game Changers tour in October. We're going to be doing a UK event. Let me just look at the date really quick. Look, I should have had this pulled up already. We're going to be doing a UK event. May, August, September, October. Yes, we're going to be doing the UK event the week of OCD Awareness Week. So that's I believe it's always the second week of the month. So it starts on the 10th. So we're going to be doing that event on the 14th in the UK. We have not decided where it's going to be. It might be at the same place that it was last time, which was a really cool, intimate venue. And then afterwards we could go to the pub. Stuart always corrects me if I say the bar. He's like, no, it's a pub. So, and then we can all hang out. And other than that, or after that, we'll be doing an event in Seville, Spain. And that's going to be on the 20th. It's going to be Thursday, the 20th. Now, if you don't know who Alejandro Ibarra is, you need to know who he is. He is an amazing therapist and advocate and does a ton of videos in Spanish. He is in Spain. And so he is going to help us host that. And it is going to be in Spanish. And we're also going to have interpreters there as well. I don't know Spanish yet, although I'm planning on learning a little bit before I go there. So it's going to be a really cool international tour to get our international, community members engaged in advocacy. I think it's hard when people in other countries see we have a lot of stuff going on in the States and people feel a little bit helpless. They want to be involved. And especially with COVID, it's really shut things down. Now, I want you to know we don't have anything official yet. Like we don't have the places yet. Both Stu and Alejandro are working really hard at getting those things secured. So soon, our plan is to have everything in place by July. So you will have all the information that you need if you want to travel to the UK and if you want to travel to Spain to visit Game Changers event. So other than that, we are going to, I know that the IOCDF conference, which a lot of people go to, is in July. It's here in Denver. And so we did this in Austin. We'll probably do this again. Game Changers is just going to do a very, casual dinner together just to celebrate. And again, community connection and things like that. So if you're interested, email us at ocdgamechangers@gmail.com. We'll put you on the list. It's not, anything fancy. So don't get your hopes up. It's just going to be somewhere here in Denver. And speaking of, I hope that y'all will consider coming to Denver this summer for the conference. The International OCD Foundation Conference is in a different city each year. This year it's in Denver, which is really cool. I'm probably about an hour and a half from Denver. So it's kind of a treat to go up there and hang out in the city. I live down south now. Many of you may not know, I bought a house down in the boondocks of Colorado. Like literally I'm way in the mountains up way down south. So let me see where he is. He just left me a voice message and I can't listen to it. So yeah, so I hope you'll consider coming to that. And actually, I'm just going to start talking a little bit about what is coming up next. I don't know what's going on, if he's going to jump on or when he's going to jump on. So our next event. So again, we have those two international events coming up. We're going to do something here in Denver. It's going to be fun to see everybody. But our next event is going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, so this is going to be on May 14th. Now, we have been working and talking with Marshall for a long time about what we can do to really connect the mental health community, especially the OCD community, to the Black community, and how we can really kind of break down some of these barriers that we all feel like exist in order to, figure out how to get some communication, get some community building. And Marshall wrote me a couple months ago, and he has been doing these really amazing rap ciphers. Okay, if you don't know what that is, I didn't know what it was either. A cipher is like a rap battle. And so I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan of 90s hip hop. I don't really listen to hip hop anymore because I listen to techno. I know it's embarrassing, but but it's true. But I kind of love the Biggie Smalls. I loved him, and that's how Marshall was describing it. So he says he's in, but I don't see him. Is that's what they used to do? Is kind of rap on the on the street corners, like in New York, and people would jump in and they would talk about the issues that were going on in the communities. And this I'll get him to explain it more, but this is what a cypher is. And so it's not necessarily going to be a rap battle. Like we're not going to get up there and it's going to be like the Eminem movie, but but it is going to be people having the ability who like to rap to get up and talk about their experience with mental health. This is why this is so exciting, because it's a different platform than I don't think I've ever seen to bring in mental health. So Marshall and I have collaborated on how to do this. Is we will have, he says he's backstage, but I don't see him. This is not good. I'm gonna invite him real quick. Hold on one second. Sorry, y'all. Am I still live? Hey. I'm gonna send it one more. Whoops. I almost sent it to the wrong person. Okay. Oh gosh, I hope this works. Look, this is what happens when you don't do a fireside chat for a while. Things screw up. Worst case scenario, we'll just have to cut this one and just go right back live. Anyway, so we're going to collaborate and have it be a mental health event. People get to, before they get up and do the rap, they're going to get to, there he is. They're going to get to talk about their experience with mental health. So here he is. I'm going to bring him on. Hey.
Hello. This one works. Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. I was just telling everybody that I'm sweating really bad, so I'm having to go open the door. Like, and I was just trying to talk about what a rap cipher is, and I probably botched the whole thing. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself. I'm going to go open my door real quick, and then I'm going to come right back. You introduce yourself.
Well, how you doing, everyone? My name is Soul Body Meta. My official government name is Marshall Moses. And the reason why I'm a little late today is, for one, I've played most of my life as basketball. I have a professional basketball career. I've played in many different countries, and I do basketball training now at the end. But I also conduct rap ciphers. What a rap cipher is different than maybe hip-hop or things that you may hear on mainstream platforms, video platforms on YouTube, or that you may see clips of online. But in the essence of it, it's a form of expression where a group of artists, whether it be MCs, poets, people who beatbox, for goodness sake, singers, where they would all congregate and express their art, judgment-free, because it will be therapy for them. This came about naturally and organically for people in the Bronx. I want to say sometime the end of the 1960s, mid-1960s. I can't remember why, but I know buildings were catching on fire sporadically. It was something to do with the environment. It was a crazy time. And hip hop really had its emergence. It probably already existed, but disco dancing and all that stuff, it was a part of it. And so people would go and they would express themselves and they would feel better afterwards. They would be able to tell people how they felt. They would be able to express the things that they were going through. They would be able to talk about things that they couldn't talk about at their day job, or maybe even sometimes felt like they couldn't talk about at home. Of course, in certain settings, it was adult, but in general, it was all ages accepted. Anybody was free to express themselves and grow in their talent, in their art.
So I was trying to explain it, and I basically, when we first started talking about it, I was like, is that what Biggie Smalls used to do?
Yes. That's absolutely okay. Biggie Smalls definitely comes from the era of rap cycle. New York City, yes, absolutely.
I used to love that when you would watch that and they would just be on the side of the street and then you would just join in, and it was this whole congregating. I mean, I never met Biggie Smalls in person, unfortunately, but I'm just saying, like, I that's how I understood it to be. So Yes. So for those of you who are probably listening to me and like, what was she talking about? I think that you probably explained it a little bit better than
I got to go back and check it out and see.
Well, at the same time, I'm like pouring sweat in my house, so it looks like I'm like terrified to talk right now. But this is just how it is when you grew up in the South. So anyway, so let's first of all, I want to talk about how you started doing these anyway. So just so y'all know, Marshall has been doing rap ciphers anyway. So this isn't just specific to mental health. So he started doing these in the past year. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start doing those.
Well, the mental health.
I can't hear you. Hold on. What? Marshall, I can't hear you. Hello. We can't hear you. Wait. I mean, I can see you talking, but I can't hear you.
A lot of your time.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. So I should start over. Just bring it back like a DJ. All right, cool. Well, if you can hear me now, yeah, it was therapy for me in a way because transitioning from my basketball career, I was doing it while I was playing, but at the tail end of my career, and it was a way for me to express myself and congregate with artists in the city. I listened to their music. I would always hear about them, and I say, man, that's my scene. Outside of basketball and other stuff I'm doing, that's really, I like that stuff. And as basketball slowed down, I started really taking it more serious. And then we did one event, and a lot of people came out and had a great time. And all people could tell me was, man, I had such a great time. Man, it had such a family atmosphere. I felt so accepted. And that resonated with me because I didn't think people would get that part of it. We do different ones. We do ones for the youth. We do different, but this was one that was free, all adult cypher. Anybody come, express yourself, say what you want. And so a lot of times people don't fully know how to take those ciphers because it may be raw expression. Somebody may talk about something they went through in their childhood. Somebody may say words that maybe, but it's and people felt it. They understood it completely. And I was taken away.
It's like an open mic, but for rap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason I was taken away is because I listen to rap. I understand rap music doesn't always have the best name, and it shouldn't. Something for good reason, for a lot of reasons. But it's parts of it that people don't know. So when I seen that people were receptive to it, I said, yo, we could use this for exactly what they were doing it for back in those times in the 60s and 70s. And this could be therapeutic for people in the community.
I mean, I think what I understand about rap, I mean, again, like I was saying earlier, 90s rap is my favorite. When Stuart Ralph came out here and he was like, Alexa, I hope she doesn't start playing it. Play 90s hip hop. Like I am addicted to that now because that was the time I really loved it. But from what I understand about the rap culture is in the early days, this was this is how people talked about, that was the expression of how to talk about what was going on the streets. When people didn't feel like they had a voice. And so it was that ability to open up a cultural way of talking about the real problems that were going on in the communities that did not have any exposure.
Yes, exactly that. And that's for one, that's so wonderful that you just said that. You said that so masterfully.
Oh,
but that is extremely correct. It became a voice for the voiceless, and people were angry at first. You can almost find a good in something if you look hard enough, as long as there's nothing heinous or egregious, of course. And I think like NWA and a lot of rap groups like that, yeah, they were harsh. That was harsh music, man. We can't lie. It was profane. But, that's what happens when people, it's like revolutionary almost, and that inspired people. And it inspired some people to do negative things. That's right. But I'm not one of those people. I never heard those songs and felt I'm going to go out and commit a crime and do anything. Well, the way I felt was, man, he's bold enough to say that. He knows the climate of this country. He knows and he still said it. And I want to be somebody like that. That's therapy for me, not to just say whatever, but to say my piece. That clears my mind. Like, yo, this is really how I feel. And I said it. No more moments where I walked away and I got to think about it. And especially for thinkers, OCD, and we talk about, I don't want to have to think of it seriously. That's how I think. I don't want to think about those moments and be wondering what I could have done different or if I could have handled it better. I'm going to say it right now. And so I was inspired in that way. I had a great household, great parents. And so I wasn't out in the streets. I wasn't inspired to do gang violence, but it did inspire the revolutionary in me even now. I feel like I can do this in the city. I didn't want to go take a traditional route as other people coming from basketball. I want to do something new. that comes from, I think, the positive inspiration of hip hop, the positive side.
Well, I think advocacy wise, all you're doing is describing what it feels like to hear someone say something that you just they get you. They get what you've gone through or what you do go through without you having to express it. And so then what we, fingers crossed, what we hope for is that courage will then motivate the person that hears it to say, if they can do it, I can do it. Which then, of course,
Absolutely.
it goes from person to person to person. And before you know it, we're screaming out loud about sexual and violent intrusive thoughts in the groinals.
Absolutely.
But I
Absolutely.
mean, it takes one person to say it and another person to go, if she can do it, I can do it. And I think that's what you're doing.
Absolutely. Very well said.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, hey, Allison, yay, so glad you're here. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect. By the way, I'm going to Tulsa, everyone, like I said earlier, but I will not be rapping.
You
I
gotta give
might
them
be
some
taking them.
bars.
I will be there. I know a couple of my peeps are coming as well. So I'm really excited about it. But tell us what we can expect if people decide to come. What is it going to look like? And here's the thing, and let's just be really transparent here. I would probably be really hesitant to go if I didn't know what it was or feel like maybe am I not welcome to go. So let's talk about who can come and why, and let's get people there.
Anybody can come, and this specific one, anybody can come to, because it's mental health awareness theme. There won't be any profanity. Everybody's this is strictly to spread mental health awareness and spread it. It's something that everybody goes and talks about. And the way this came about, or where I sparked the idea, was a conversation I had with you, and you mentioned about the lack of, in minority communities and things, the mental health treatment, whether it be because they can't afford it or they just don't know, or different things. And I was inspired by you because you have passion for that. And so if they come to this one, that's what they can expect to hear. They can expect to hear people's stories put in rap form. They're going to hear dope metaphors and figurative language. They're going to hear passionate expression. They're going to hear people speak openly about anything that they may have suffered with, whether it's caused from OCD or PTSD or anything, autism. You'll be surprised how many people with autism you find in the musical world, man. So you're going to hear people talk about that. And just anything that can relate, that shows people being bold and expressing themselves about things that people usually may want to hide.
Right.
And they think that other people can't relate. I say, whether people are religious or not, I say that's the devil's playground, is to make you think that you're by yourself. Nobody can understand you.
Right.
Nobody can relate. And so we're doing this and show, people can relate. We can relate so much, we can rap about it and make some hot raps too. We don't have to talk about anything negative. We're going to talk about how we overcame our obstacles, how we feel when we're alone and down or been through something. And people are going to have a good time. If you're 21 and older, there will be drinks available. We will have everybody. There will be security, so nobody has to worry about that kind of thing. It will be armed security. There will be the whole nine. And we're just going to have a good time and spread mental health awareness.
My dog is reverse sneezing, by the way. So if y'all hear something very weird, it is just him. We were in the vet earlier this morning. He has a bad cold. So it's not me, it's my dog. If you hear something really weird.
No problem. No problem.
So anyway, basically what you're saying is that this is a non-judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. And I think, before when I was trying to get Marshall on and rambling, I was wanting y'all to know that, yes, Lisa, I've been thinking about you. Lisa Hart is on, and I wanted to talk to you and let you know that we were doing this. And if you wanted to come up as well, it would be great to see you. And Allison said she would pay to see me rap. Well, honey, that day is a long way away.
Allison, I tried to get her, but I tried to convince her to spit a couple bars. I told her I would write them and everything. She said no.
I can rap in the car along with Snoop Dogg, and that's about it.
Hey, that's good enough. That's good enough.
So
Snoop Dogg is all right.
What I was saying is that Marshall and I, the way that we wanted to format this is kind of start off, and y'all know my style of advocacy. I feel super comfortable around Marshall. So I know that we can talk super openly, and I think that it will be good for us to talk about mental health with OCD. I will try to break the ice and get everyone as comfortable as they can and understanding. They can
It's
talk
going in
about
and
anything.
out. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. I was just talking about how we were going to sit down beforehand and we were going to break the ice and really talk about the issues at first, get people comfortable knowing that they can say whatever that they want. And then before people get to do their contribution in their rap, they get to talk about what their struggle is with mental health. So this is not only a place to come to be entertained, but it's also a place to come to get educated. So if you don't know that OCD has sexual, violent, intrusive thoughts, you might come to this and think, oh, we're just going to do some rap. And then you leave and you're going to be mind blown at what you've learned about OCD, and not only for yourself, but maybe your loved ones. So that's, I think, what the goal of this event is.
Absolutely. I think we're going to get there and we're going to promote it. Obviously, when people show up, we're going to introduce them, let them know who we are while we're here and what they're going to be hearing from the MCs. And then I say we can do before, but I was thinking after. I think somebody, they do their thing afterwards, they got their mic and they say, this is why I performed that piece I just did. This is what it means to me. Even people who they may or may not know OCD content, but they know intrusive thoughts. And so I've talked to people about that, and they was like, I said OCD, and they was like, okay, well, it needs awareness, so we're going to talk about that. But they was like, okay, well, I don't know much about it. I just know when I think of OCD, I think it is whatever. And then I say, okay, well, intrusive thoughts, think about that. And they say, what's that? And I say, well, you think about things you don't want to think about, and it causes you feelings you don't want to feel. They was like, oh, I understand that. I understand, So you'll see that. You'll see even some of the people in through expressing themselves that they have learned things about mental health. You got people Googling and learning things that I've seen behind the scenes about things that they don't want to just talk about their traumas. They want to be all inclusive. Yeah. They seen that you coming out and they know from Colorado and stuff. And okay, I want to really say something of substance. And so I think it's already happening. It's already happening. People are getting educated. They're getting interested in mental health and, expressing themselves and finding what means for them. So,
well, think about how misunderstood PTSD is, depression is. And, being able to dig into that, not only to showcase a performance of a piece that's probably so meaningful to people and the nuance in the piece that's going to educate us, but also to get to share your lived experience in a space that is safe. And that's what I love the most about this is that, we don't have to worry about, people walking away and thinking this person's a weirdo or why would this person say this? Because it's going to be this, we're going to set the stage for
the way it is, because people are going to be, people are going to be people. Somebody may say that, but the way we're going to do it is it'll make them look crazy. And I know it's crazy. I know it's not a good word to use, but I just wrote a book and released this on Amazon, and they told me not to use that. And I went through all the contextual hoops because I wanted to use the word because I use it pertaining to myself, and not in a bad way.
By the way, you can self-promote the book right now if you want. What is it called?
From Bitch Woman to Starter is the name of the book. From Bitch Woman to Starter. It is
there you
go. Yeah, so thought I had a version in the car with me. I don't, but yes, you can
bring it to the Cypher.
I'm be selling them at the Cypher.
I should sell our book at the Cypher.
Yes, seriously.
Well, okay. So here's a question. Marshall, what do you hope that people walk away with if they attend the Mental Health Cypher in Tulsa?
I hope they walk away understanding that people are more receptive to mental health issues than they think. Again, I was saying that I believe that, I can use verbiage. It could be metaphorical, literal, religious, or not, but I use the devil's playground. I think people understand that rhetoric. I think that's the main, of course, there's different things, but I think the moment people start thinking, oh my God, I can't tell nobody this. I can't. But that's it right there. Now the evil starts. So I want people to walk away thinking, man, I don't care if it's somebody black, Mexican, white, green, an alien. We all relate on this topic.
Yes, we do. It does not discriminate.
Vulnerable. Exactly. No discrimination. It's a vulnerable topic. So when it's vulnerable, that means you can skip past layers of other stuff that may have people having differences with each other. When I say, hey, man, the world says this, society says this, but yo, this pain is dear to my heart. You can relate to that?
Mhm.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? That's
Talk
love.
about deeper level connection.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So just to say hello to a couple of our people. Hi, Michael Schramm. Thanks so much for being here. Miss you. Looking forward to seeing you this summer. And then there's Maya and Maya Marshall. You don't know her yet, but she's from Hardcore and she's going to be doing our graphics for OCD Game Changers for the Cypher. And they look so good so far. So I'm really excited about them. We'll be pushing those out next week. And then again, hello, Allison and everybody here. Thanks so much for being here. We are talking about the OCD Game Changers and Soul Body Meta. Is that right? Yes, Soul Body. I
You
always
got
think,
it.
is
I
it
was about to
Soul
say,
Meta Body?
right, you got it. You got it.
We are joining forces and we are going to do a mental health rap cipher in Tulsa, Oklahoma on May 14th. Super excited. Do you have the venue already secured? Do you want to let people know what that is yet, or do we want to wait?
Absolutely. Clean Hands Art Studio.
Okay.
629 West First Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma is the address. It is right across the street from the BOK Center in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma. Wonderful place. The owner's name is Chase. Great guy, and it's a great space. It's got art, like art from people who created it in the city, and we hang it up in the back. Different artists, and so that's kind of like the background scenery for the videography. It's really cool, and it's a way to include other people in the community besides just musicians or musical artists.
Excellent. So we'll put all of that on our graphics and we'll also include all of that on our social media. So if any of you are interested in going, now, look, I know for myself, when Marshall and I first started talking about this, I was super intimidated. I was like, I do not belong at a rap cipher.
Yo,
I
yes,
do not. And I knew I had to go, right? Because of the OCD Game Changers. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've talked to Marshall, the more I just realized that this is one of the reasons why sometimes our communities don't come together, right? Because we're afraid to integrate into these kind of topics because we don't understand where the other community is coming from. So my inspiration, hopefully to you and motivation to try to come is this. Look, this is how we break down barriers. This is how we start to come together, just like Marshall said, on the topic that is so much different than race and religion and culture and country or whatever. The common denominator here is mental health. So if you think you want to go and you're scared, I want you to know that I feel the same way. It's way out of my comfort zone, but I'm going anyway, and you can come hang out and sit with me. And so, and then we're going to yell and scream and dance and whatever we need to do. But my hope is that this is super successful and that this isn't the last thing that we do. And then we can start traveling across the country. So if you can't come to Tulsa, maybe we can bring it to a city near you. Right, Marshall?
absolutely. Absolutely. Started this. We've already traveled some. I have an event tomorrow in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Actually, it's still in Oklahoma, but it's out of the city, and that's what we're planning to do with this. Mental health awareness, different themes to spread positivity, and then when we come back home, it's no theme, be your raw self, and we gotta broadcast it internationally. As a matter of fact, this next one we do, I think April 15th, will be on Apple TV and Roku. It's going to be live streaming, and I'm going to try to set up live for the mental health one. I'm pretty sure I can. So, yeah, that's perfect. You're right. Everything you're saying is spot on.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you want us to know about that or about the ciphers in general? That, maybe if people are on the fence or maybe other people are like, whoa, I don't know, but I want to, but I'm scared. What do you want people to know?
I think we covered it. I think they're gonna see. I think I'm used to doing eccentric things. I've made a life out of it. It's kind of like my life. And so,
This is why we get along.
yeah,
We're so much alike.
I'm a thrill seeker, man. And so I understand that people are going to be skeptical at first. And to be honest, I encourage skepticism. I'm one of those people. I'm like, hey man, be careful of stuff. Watch out. Make sure you don't know. So I'm interested to get it done and see and show how it goes over and see the results. And I think once people start seeing, I mean, we got great videographers. So it's going to be very cinematic of people telling their stories and talking about things that are a lot of times taboo or hidden. I think once people see that, it's going to be they're going to jump on it, just like the regular ciphers jumped off. People were like, "What was a rap cipher?" I know what rapping is, and I explain to people who are embedded in the culture, black people in the culture. I have to explain to them, "Yo, this is what a rap cipher is for real. This is how it goes." So it's not just a cultural difference. You know, some people just don't understand the roots of why people are rapping in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I actually said something earlier about it being a rap battle, but then I thought that I was wrong. We're not doing a battle. It's more.
But we have done it in battle form. What we do is the versus thing has been hot, especially since the pandemic. People were crowding around TV to see their favorite artists sing songs they already knew, going verse each other. I said, well, this is a versus aspect that's really not a versus. It's all love. I said, so we can do this with Cypher sometimes. It's another way to highlight DJs and people in the city. So we get different DJs to show up. We give them a theme and they cite, but nobody's battling each other. Nobody's talking about each other. We're expressing ourselves and the crowd just cheers for who they like the most. And we say somebody won and just keep going. You know?
I mean, I think for most of us white folks, it's that we saw the Eminem movie. So when we think of that, we think of Eminem up on the stage battling.
Yeah. I like battle rap. Battle rap is a little bit more. That's intense.
Okay, so that's not a cipher. That's actually battle rap. Okay, we're not doing that.
There was a cipher in that movie, though. If you remember,
yes,
a version of it.
Well, the lunch break.
Work. He was at work at the lunch break.
Yes,
that's cipher.
I know. Well, I was blown away at how those people could come up with stuff that rhymed that quickly. But I mean, it is Eminem, who, by the way, at some point we'll probably get him at one of the ciphers, right?
For sure, I think so. I think
he will too.
Worth as well, because he's a mental health advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Mental health advocate, struggled with addiction in his past, and so I think that's realistic. Just got to keep building.
Excellent. So correct me, or let's give people the information. If people want to submit, is it too late to do that? Or can people submit a rap to be part of the event? Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Absolutely. If they want to submit or they want to rap that day, especially if it's someone you know, go through you or contact me and however you would do that, and we can get them a slot. But they rap it live, so we don't record it and perform our recording it. Now you got to rap it live. That's part of the Fight Club aspect we do with other hip hop. So that way we doesn't care if somebody has a famous album, mainstream hit records. You have to show that you can come in here and do it in its rawest form, you know. And so they would have to perform it live, but absolutely.
And so some of the parameters were no profanity.
Yes.
What else?
That's it. Stay on theme.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tell your story, and be ready to give a little short dissertation after you don't have to talk long, but after you speak, we want to know why you rapped about what you rapped about. Some people may sing, they may not rap. I have someone performing tomorrow that's going to play the guitar and rap sing. We have a young lady that's a vocalist who's awesome. And so tell us why you chose to do what you chose to do. And then it'll be, move on to the next person.
So if any of you are interested or you think this is an opportunity, I want to at least explore this or have questions for Marshall, reach out to us at ocdgamechangers@gmail.com and I'll definitely get you connected to him. If you just want to see what the first one is about and then maybe think about honing your craft for the next one, don't worry. I think we will probably do this again. We just need to see how it's going to go, work out the kinks, and I think we're just going to have such a great time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think you're going to like it. I think you're definitely going to experience something new in a good way.
I think that's what we need sometimes in advocacy, right? We sometimes bear down on things and you do it over and over and over, and it loses its effectiveness to branch out to a degree that brings more people into a community when they really, really need to feel welcome and they need to feel like their story matters. So I think that's exactly what we're doing.
Absolutely. I fully agree.
Yeah. So this is exciting. Any final words before we wrap up? Before we wrap up.
I'm telling you, it's already rubbing off. I'm telling you.
This is why I'm not going to rap ever.
that was hot. Yo, my wife, when we first met each other, She used to hate me because I turned everything into a metaphor or sympathy. Or just earlier today, she said something. I said something. I was like, no, it's a wrap for that. You know, it's slang. It's a wrap for that. She said, like a burrito, but she said it with such a straight face that I really was like, are you serious? And I said, oh, I've rubbed off on you. 12 years in, you finally rapping. She was like, no, I like it a little bit. I'll be honest.
Is she going to come to the rap Cypher?
More than likely, yes.
Good. I can't wait to meet her. Excellent. Okay, so my final words are, y'all, this is going to be really exciting. It is way out of my comfort zone, which is this shit that I love. And it is going to be something new for OCD Gamechangers, which is going to bring so much more variety to what we do. I love that we're kicking off our in-person events with this, Marshall. It means a lot to us to be able to do something different. And I get to be there and travel and participate. So thank you for asking us to be part of this. Really, it's an honor.
No, thank you guys for being open to it, and thank you for being so awesome. I told you I discovered you when I was overseas alone. I followed your videos, and now here we are. This is kind of crazy. So
I know, I love it.
Awesome.
Then we're going to be on stage together. It's going to be fun. So anyone, if you're interested in going, or if you just want to follow some details, make sure that you follow our page here at OCD Gamechangers on Facebook. You also follow us on Instagram. We're going to be putting details up. Our wonderful Maya is going to be making some beautiful graphics for the event. Now, mark your calendars. It's May 14th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you can't make it this time, don't worry. We'll have photos, we'll have video, we'll have all this stuff to show you what you missed, but then it will inspire you to come to the next event. And again, if you are interested in traveling internationally, because not a lot of people have, remember we have events coming up in the UK and in Seville, Spain in October. So more information on that's going to come out this summer. But if you want to be a part of our international community, please look at that as an option to start branching out and including more community members, because the goal is everyone in the world who has OCD needs to know that they're not alone, right? So thank you, Marshall. Really grateful for you. So excited for this event and to start doing collaborations moving forward. Thank you, everybody who joined tonight. Always good to see everybody. It's so good to be back. Taking a break is sometimes good, but boy, it sure does feel good to get back connected to my community. So looking forward to seeing you soon. We'll be doing another Fireside Chat next month. But until I see you in person, take good care of yourself and know that you are not alone in the experience of living or supporting someone with OCD.